The town of Eldenbrook was quiet in the early morning. Mist rose gently from the river, curling around the tall trees and the ancient stone bridge that connected the two sides of the town. The bridge had stood for centuries, its stones worn smooth by countless footsteps, yet it still looked strong. Many people came from far away to see it, but this morning, it seemed almost lonely, holding only the soft sounds of birds and the gentle ripple of water below. Liam walked carefully along the bridge, carrying a small bag of tools. He was the town's young engineer, and it was his job to inspect the old bridge. Every stone, every arch, every rope of moss was important to him. He loved the bridge not just because it was strong, but because it told stories of people from long ago. He paused to examine a crack in one stone and made notes in his small notebook. Suddenly, a soft voice called out, "Oh! I'm sorry I didn't see you there." Liam looked up and saw a young woman standing near the middle of the bridge. She had a sketchbook in her hands, and her dark hair fell over her shoulders in gentle waves. Her eyes were bright with curiosity. She wore a simple blue dress, and her shoes were slightly dusty from walking around the town. "No problem," Liam said, smiling. "I should have been paying attention myself." The woman laughed, a soft and clear sound. "I'm Nora. I'm visiting the town to study the bridge. I like to draw old places and learn their stories." Liam's eyes widened slightly. "I'm Liam. I work here, taking care of the bridge. Maybe I can help you with your study." Nora tilted her head and looked at him with interest. "Really? That would be wonderful. I want to know everything about this bridge, its history, and why it is so strong even after all these years." "Then you're in the right place," Liam said. He carefully set down his bag and walked closer to her. "I can show you details that most visitors never notice." As he spoke, he reached for his notebook to jot down some measurements. But in his movement, a small wrench slipped from his bag and fell toward the river. Without thinking, Liam lunged forward. Nora was already reaching out, and their hands touched as they both tried to catch the tool. It fell safely into Liam's hands, and they both laughed, slightly embarrassed. "That was close," Nora said, still smiling. "I didn't expect to be part of an engineering rescue this morning." "You saved the day," Liam replied with a grin. "I would have lost a very important tool without you." They began walking slowly along the bridge together, talking about its stones and arches. Liam explained how the bridge was built many centuries ago, with careful planning and human skill. Nora listened intently, sketching small notes in her book. She told Liam about her travels and how she loved discovering old structures and the stories they held. As they walked, Liam showed her a small carved mark on one of the stones. "This was made by the original builders," he said. "It's almost like they wanted us to find it and remember them." Nora leaned closer to see. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "Humans really are amazing, aren't they? To build something that lasts so long and still feels alive." Liam felt a warmth in his chest. He had always loved the bridge, but he had never thought of it this way through someone else's eyes. And somehow, seeing it with Nora made it even more special. The morning sun was rising higher now, making the river sparkle and lighting up the ancient stones. Liam and Nora paused near the middle of the bridge, just standing quietly and looking at the water. For a moment, there was no need for words. The bridge, the river, the soft wind, it all felt perfect. Then Nora broke the silence. "I'm glad I met you today, Liam. I think this will be a wonderful visit." Liam smiled, feeling the same thought. "Me too, Nora. Maybe this bridge isn't just about history. Maybe it's about people too, the ones who care for it, and the ones who see it in a new way. And with that, they walked to the end of the bridge together, ready to share stories, ideas, and perhaps the start of something neither of them expected. The next morning, the sun rose over Eldon Brook, painting the town with soft gold and orange light. The streets were quiet, but the air felt alive with possibilities. Liam was already by the bridge, checking a section that needed a little repair. He hummed a tune as he worked, unaware that someone was quietly watching him from a short distance. It was Nora. She had spent the night sketching parts of the town and could not wait to see Liam again. She smiled as she approached, carrying her sketchbook and a small satchel with pencils and paints. "Good morning, Liam," she called cheerfully. Liam looked up and grinned. "Nora. You're early. Did you sleep well?" "I did," she said, walking closer. "And I thought I could join you today. Maybe I can see the bridge from a closer angle while you work." Liam nodded. "Sure. I can show you some places no one usually sees." He led her along the edge of the bridge and down a small path that ran alongside the river. The path was lined with wildflowers and mossy stones. It was quiet, except for the soft rush of water and occasional bird songs. As they walked, Liam explained how the bridge had been repaired over the years and how people had worked together to keep it strong. Nora listened, occasionally sketching small details in her book. "You know," she said, looking at a carved stone, "I never realized how much human skill went into building something like this. Every stone feels like it has a story." "That's exactly why I love it," Liam said. "Humans built this to last, and it still stands today. That's something worth respecting." They reached a small hill overlooking the bridge. Liam pointed toward the water below. "From here, you can see how carefully the bridge arches over the river. It's not just stone, it's balance, planning, and a little bit of human courage." Nora knelt down and began sketching the view. "I can feel the courage," she said softly. "Humans were brave to make something so lasting. And you're brave too, taking care of it every day." Liam laughed quietly. "I guess I am. But it's easier when someone appreciates it." They continued exploring, moving through hidden corners of the town that tourists never saw. Liam showed Nora an old mill by the river, a small garden behind the town hall, and a tiny alley where children played long ago. Each place had its own charm, and Nora captured every detail in her sketches. At one point, they stopped by a shallow pool near the riverbank. Liam picked up a smooth stone and skipped it across the water. Nora watched and then tried herself. She laughed when the stone barely moved. "You need practice," Liam said, handing her another stone. "Here, try this one." With his guidance, Nora threw the stone, and it skipped 3 times before sinking. Her eyes lit up. "I did it. 3 times. See?" Liam said, smiling. "Humans can do amazing things when they try together." They spent the afternoon sharing stories. Liam talked about his childhood, how he loved studying bridges and learning how things worked. Nora shared tales from her travels, describing old towns and the people she had met. Each story revealed a little more about them, and they found themselves laughing at the same things, noticing the same beauty, and understanding each other in ways neither expected. As the sun began to lower in the sky, casting golden light over the bridge, Liam and Nora sat on a stone bench nearby. They watched the river sparkle and listened to the quiet hum of the town. "I never thought visiting a town could feel so alive," Nora said. Liam nodded. "It's different when you're not just looking." When you care about the people, the history, and even the small details, it all comes alive. They sat in comfortable silence for a few minutes, letting the sounds of the river and the bridge surround them. For the first time, Liam realized that seeing the bridge with Nora made it feel even more special. And Nora felt the same. The bridge was no longer just a subject for her sketches, it was a place where she could feel connection, curiosity, and warmth. "Tomorrow," Liam said finally, "I can show you the very top of the bridge. It's a bit tricky to reach, but the view is incredible." Nora's eyes widened. "I'd love that. It sounds amazing." As they parted that evening, both of them felt a quiet excitement. The bridge had brought them together, but it was their shared curiosity, laughter, and kindness that made their bond grow. And neither of them knew yet how much more the bridge would teach them, not just about history, but about themselves, and each other. The day was warm, and a gentle wind moved through Eldon Brook. Liam had been inspecting the bridge carefully, making sure each stone was strong and stable. Nora had joined him again, her sketchbook in hand. Today, she wanted to capture the arches of the bridge from above, seeing the river glitter beneath the stones. As they climbed the small steps leading to the top of the bridge, the sky began to darken. Clouds rolled in slowly, and the wind grew stronger. Liam noticed the change but did not want to worry Nora. "Look at this view," he said, pointing to the river below. "From here, you can see every detail of the bridge. It's like it's alive." Nora smiled, lifting her sketchbook. "It really feels alive. I can almost hear the people who built it, telling their stories through the stones." Suddenly, a bright flash split the sky. Thunder rumbled above, loud and sharp. Liam's heart jumped. "We should be careful. Storms like this can be dangerous on the bridge." But before they could move, a bolt of lightning struck a small section of the bridge. Sparks flew, and a small fire broke out near some old wooden beams that supported the structure. Smoke rose quickly, twisting into the darkening sky. Nora gasped. "Liam! What do we do?" Liam's mind raced. He knew the bridge could survive some damage, but the fire had to be controlled quickly. "Stay calm, Nora. We can handle this together. Follow me." He ran toward the fire, carefully avoiding the flames. Nora followed, her heart pounding, but she did not hesitate. She grabbed a nearby bucket filled with water from the river and handed it to Liam. "Here. Use this," she shouted. Liam dipped the bucket into the river and threw the water over the fire. Smoke hissed as the flames shrank slightly. Then he grabbed another bucket and began forming a small line, throwing water repeatedly. Nora worked beside him, moving quickly but carefully, as the storm raged above. The wind threatened to push the fire toward them, but they stayed focused. Liam shouted encouragement, and Nora responded with determination. Their hands brushed several times as they passed buckets, and each time, a spark of courage seemed to pass between them two. Finally, after what felt like hours but was only minutes, the fire died down. Smoke still rose, but the flames were gone. Both were breathing heavily, their clothes damp from water and sweat. Liam looked at Nora, relief shining in his eyes. You were amazing," he said. "I couldn't have done it without you." Nora laughed softly, trying to calm her nerves. "You were amazing too. I didn't know we could work together so well under pressure." They sat on a stone ledge near the bridge, letting the storm pass overhead. The sky was still gray, but the rain had slowed to a gentle drizzle. Lightning flashed far away, but it no longer threatened them. Liam turned to Nora, his voice quiet. "You know. I've always cared for this bridge, but today, seeing you here, helping me, it made me realize something. Some things are worth protecting more than just stone. Some things, people, are worth protecting too. Nora felt her heart warm at his words. She had felt the same courage and care in him. I feel the same, Liam, she said. I never imagined an old bridge could make me feel so connected, not just to history, but to someone else. They stayed there a while, watching the river swell gently with the rain. Their hands found each other naturally, fingers lacing together, a silent promise passing between them. The fire had been frightening, but it had also shown them that they could rely on each other, no matter the danger. As the storm moved away, the sun peeked through the clouds. Its golden light touched the bridge, making the wet stones sparkle. Liam and Nora stood, brushing themselves off, and looked at the structure they had saved together. It seemed even stronger now, almost as if it had grown from the courage and teamwork it had witnessed. Tomorrow, Liam said, smiling, we can explore the hidden paths beneath the bridge. I want you to see how humans built it from the ground up. Nora nodded, smiling back. I would love that. And maybe, next time, no fire. Liam chuckled. Agreed. No fire. Just discovery and stories. As they walked back toward the town, side by side, they knew that the bridge had given them more than history today. It had given them trust, courage, and the first spark of something very special between them. The morning after the storm, Eldon Brook was calm and bright. The air smelled fresh from the rain, and droplets still clung to the leaves and flowers along the river bank. Liam and Nora met near the bridge, both eager to continue their exploration. I've never seen the bridge look so alive, Nora said, smiling. After yesterday, it feels like it has a personality of its own. Liam laughed softly. It does, in a way. I think it grows stronger every time people care for it, every time someone notices its story. They walked together along the bridge, stopping to examine small cracks and repairs. Liam pointed out places that had been reinforced after years of wear, explaining how careful planning had kept the bridge standing for centuries. Nora listened, fascinated, occasionally sketching notes and details. When they reached the riverside park beside the bridge, Liam suggested they sit on a stone bench under a large oak tree. The river flowed gently, reflecting the morning sun. The sound of the water was soothing, and for a moment, the world seemed to slow. I like moments like this, Liam said quietly. When everything is calm, and you can just think about what really matters. Nora nodded. Yes, after yesterday, I realized that life can change in a second. One moment it's peaceful, and the next, you're facing a fire or a storm. Liam looked at her, noticing how brave she had been during the fire. I felt the same. And you didn't panic. You helped me without hesitation. That courage, it's inspiring. Nora smiled shyly. I think humans have a way of surprising themselves. Sometimes we don't realize how much we can do until we're tested. They sat in comfortable silence for a while, watching the river flow. Then Liam spoke again. I have a dream, he said. I want to protect old structures like this bridge. I want future generations to see them, to understand human skill and care. It's more than just history, it's a story of people, of their effort and creativity. Nora's eyes brightened. That's beautiful. I have a similar dream. I want to travel, find places like this, and share their stories with the world. Not just history, but the feeling of being there, of seeing what humans have built and created. Their hands brushed gently as they spoke, and neither pulled away. Liam's voice softened. It's strange, but it feels like our dreams are connected. Both of us want to show people the beauty of what humans can do. Nora nodded, her heart quietly happy. Yes, it's like we're walking the same path in different ways. And somehow, meeting you here, on this bridge, feels right. Liam looked at her, a warm smile forming. I've spent so much time caring for the bridge, but today, it feels different. It's not just the stones I care about. It's the people I share it with. Nora's fingers lightly touched his hand, and she felt a spark of connection. I think that's what makes history meaningful. Not just the buildings or bridges, but the people who live with them, care for them, and understand them. They spent the morning talking, laughing softly, and sharing stories of their pasts and hopes for the future. Liam told Nora about his childhood, exploring old buildings and imagining the people who built them. Nora shared tales of her travels, from small towns to grand cities, and how every place had left a mark on her heart. As the sun climbed higher, casting a warm glow over the bridge, Liam stood and offered his hand to Nora. Come on. I want to show you something special. There's a hidden path beneath the bridge, and from there, you can see the arches from below. Most people never notice them. Nora took his hand, feeling a quiet excitement. Lead the way, she said. They carefully climbed down the steps to the hidden path, the sound of the river growing louder. Liam explained the structure from below, pointing out the clever placement of stones and the way the builders had balanced the arches. Nora sketched quickly, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. Standing there, beneath the great bridge, they felt a sense of wonder. The human effort, the ingenuity, and the courage to build something so lasting impressed them both. And somewhere between the arches and the flowing river, a quiet bond was forming, a connection that went beyond shared interests, one that was growing into something deeper. As they walked back to the riverside park, hands brushing occasionally, both felt a sense of joy and anticipation. The bridge had brought them together, but it was their dreams, their courage, and their shared curiosity that made their friendship and perhaps something more begin to bloom. The sun shone brighter, warming their faces. The river sparkled. And for Liam and Nora, it felt as though the world itself had opened a door to possibilities they had only just begun to imagine. The town of Eldenbrook buzzed with excitement as the annual Bridge Festival approached. Colorful banners hung along the streets, and stalls were set up with handmade crafts, local foods, and games. The festival celebrated the ancient stone bridge, a symbol of the town's history and human ingenuity. Liam arrived early, carrying a basket of decorations. He wanted the bridge to look its best, not just for the festival, but also for Nora. He spotted her near the riverside, carefully sketching the bridge in her notebook. "Good morning, Nora," he called, waving. She looked up and smiled brightly. "Good morning, Liam. I see you're already busy." "I wouldn't miss it," Liam said. "Come help me. I have a feeling this bridge is going to shine today." Nora laughed and joined him. Together, they hung colorful ribbons along the railings and placed small lanterns at intervals, their hands brushing as they worked. Every touch made a quiet warmth grow between them, but neither spoke of it yet. They were too busy enjoying the simple joy of decorating together. As the festival began, townspeople gathered around the bridge. Children ran laughing along the path, their kites soaring high above the river. The smell of fresh bread and sweet pastries filled the air. Musicians played cheerful tunes, and everyone clapped along. Liam and Nora walked side by side, observing the celebration and enjoying the lively energy. Look at everyone, Nora said, her eyes sparkling. People care so much about this bridge and the town. It feels magical. Liam nodded. It is magical. Not because of the stones, but because of people like them, people who care, who celebrate, who work together. They stopped at a small game booth where children were tossing rings onto wooden pegs. Liam joined in, helping a little boy line up his toss. Nora laughed as the boy managed to land a ring perfectly. See? Teamwork always works, she said. Later, they wandered to the riverbank, where small boats were tied for rides. Liam and Nora shared a boat, letting it drift gently along the river. The sunlight reflected on the water, making it sparkle like diamonds. They laughed as they tried to steer the boat together, occasionally bumping into the shore, and helping each other steady it. Who knew steering a boat could be so tricky? Liam said, grinning. You're doing fine, Nora replied, her eyes warm. Better than me, at least. As the evening approached, lanterns on the bridge were lit, casting a soft golden glow. The festival organizers had saved the best for last, fireworks over the river. People gathered on the bridge to watch, and Liam and Nora found a quiet spot near the center. The first firework shot into the sky with a bright flare. Nora gasped in delight, and Liam smiled, noticing how her eyes reflected the light. Beautiful, isn't it? He said. It is, she whispered. But not as beautiful as today, or maybe, the people I've spent it with. Liam felt his heart beat faster. He turned slightly, and their hands met naturally. No words were needed, they held each other's gaze, letting the moment speak. The fireworks continued, bursting in reds, blues, and golds, but for them, the world seemed to quiet down, leaving just the two of them on the glowing bridge. Liam, Nora said softly, thank you for letting me see all of this, the bridge, the town, and you. Liam smiled and squeezed her hand gently. Thank you, Nora, for being here. For helping, laughing, and caring. I'm really happy you came to Eldenbrook. A particularly bright firework exploded above them, casting shimmering light across their faces. Without thinking, they leaned closer, and Nora's hand slipped into his completely. Their first, tender kiss was gentle and sweet, a quiet celebration of something they had both felt for days. Around them, the town cheered at the fireworks, but for Liam and Nora, time seemed to pause. After the fireworks, they walked along the bridge, still holding hands. The lanterns reflected on the water, creating a path of soft light. Children laughed in the distance, and the townspeople continued enjoying the festival, but Liam and Nora felt a peaceful, private happiness. I never imagined a festival could feel like this, Nora said, resting her head slightly on Liam's shoulder. It's not just the festival, Liam replied. It's everything. The bridge, the town, the people, and you. As the night grew quiet and the festival lights dimmed, Liam and Nora stood together on the ancient stone bridge. The bridge had seen centuries of people, celebrations, and stories. Now, it had witnessed a new story, one of friendship, courage, and the first spark of love between two humans who cared deeply for each other and for the world they shared. The sky over Eldenbrook had grown dark and heavy. Clouds rolled across the hills, and the wind picked up, rustling the leaves along the riverbank. Liam had been checking the bridge again, just to be safe, when he noticed something worrying. A few of the old stones seemed loose after the festival. The bridge was strong, but storms could make small problems worse very quickly. Nora arrived, holding her sketchbook and a small umbrella. Liam, the clouds look dangerous. Do you think the bridge will be okay? Liam shook his head slightly, a serious look crossing his face. It's holding for now, but if the storm gets stronger, it could be risky. We should make sure everyone stays safe. Nora frowned. Do you want me to help? Absolutely, Liam said. We need to secure the bridge and make sure the townspeople know to stay away until the storm passes. It's going to take teamwork. The first drops of rain began to fall, gentle at first, then faster. Liam and Nora quickly gathered ropes, tarps, and warning signs. Together, they ran along the bridge, tying down small decorations and securing areas where stones could shift. The wind howled, and the rain made the stones slippery, but they moved carefully, helping each other every step of the way. Liam shouted over the wind, Nora, grab the rope. Tie it around the railing. That section could shift in the storm. Nora followed his instructions, tying the rope tightly and feeling the strain in her arms. Liam placed his hand on hers for a moment, steadying her as they worked. Their eyes met, and in that brief glance, they found courage in each other. As the storm grew fiercer, the townspeople began to gather at a safe distance, watching Liam and Nora work together. Some offered help, and soon a line of people formed, each following Liam's instructions. Nora guided them, explaining how to secure small parts of the bridge and keep the area safe. Careful with the ropes, she called, her voice steady despite the rain. Move slowly, and don't slip on the stones. The storm tested them, but it also showed them how humans could unite in a common goal. Liam noticed the determination in Nora's eyes, the same determination she had shown during the fire weeks ago. He realized then that it wasn't just the bridge that was strong, it was people who cared for it. After what felt like hours, the wind began to lessen, and the rain slowed to a drizzle. Liam and Nora, soaked and tired, took a moment to look at the bridge. It had survived, standing proud and strong against the storm. You did amazing, Liam said, his voice filled with admiration. I couldn't have done this without you. Nora smiled, brushing wet hair from her face. We did it together. Everyone helped, but I think, the bridge is stronger because of the care we put into it today. Liam took her hand, squeezing it gently. It's not just the bridge. I mean, seeing you here, helping, guiding, and staying calm, it makes me realize how important you are to me. Nora felt her heart warm. I feel the same way, Liam. I never expected to feel so connected to someone while caring for a bridge, but I do. They walked slowly along the bridge, hand in hand, listening to the river flowing steadily beneath them. The storm had passed, leaving the stones shining with wet light and the air fresh and clean. For a moment, the world seemed peaceful, as if it were rewarding them for their courage and care. Liam stopped and looked at Nora. We promised to protect each other back when the fire happened. Today, we kept that promise. I want to keep it, forever. Nora smiled, squeezing his hand. And I promise the same. We'll face storms, challenges, and whatever comes, together. They stood in silence, feeling the bond between them grow stronger. The bridge had been their challenge, their test, and their reminder that human effort, courage, and unity could overcome even the fiercest storms. As the sun began to peek through the clouds, golden light touched the ancient stones, sparkling on the wet surfaces. Liam and Nora looked at each other and laughed softly, a mixture of relief and joy. The bridge had survived, but so had their friendship, and now, something deeper had begun to bloom. Hand in hand, they walked back toward the town, ready to face whatever came next, together. The ancient stone bridge had witnessed history for centuries, and today, it had witnessed the beginning of a story that belonged to Liam and Nora, one of courage, care, and a love that was quietly growing stronger with every step. The morning sun rose over Eldon Brook, casting golden light on the ancient stone bridge. The rain from the previous storm had left the stones glistening, and the river flowed quietly beneath, reflecting the bright sky. After days of inspection, repairs, and care, the bridge now stood stronger than ever, a symbol of endurance and human effort. Liam and Nora arrived together, hand in hand, walking slowly along the bridge. The quiet morning felt peaceful, almost sacred, as if the bridge itself had been waiting for this moment. "It looks beautiful," Nora said softly, looking at the arches and the shining stones. "Stronger than ever." Liam nodded, smiling. "It survived the storm, just like we hoped. But it's not just the bridge that matters. It's the care, the teamwork, and the people who love it." Nora squeezed his hand. "And the people who care about each other." They paused near the center of the bridge, leaning against the railing and looking at the river below. The gentle flow of water reflected the sunlight, sparkling like 1,000 tiny diamonds. For a moment, neither spoke, both enjoying the calm and the sense of accomplishment. "Do you remember the first day we met here?" Liam asked, a small smile on his lips. Nora laughed quietly. "Yes. I was trying to sketch, and we bumped into each other. I thought you might be annoyed, but you weren't. You smiled, and we started talking about the bridge. That moment changed everything," Liam said softly. "I never imagined that a bridge could bring someone into my life in such an important way." Nora looked up at him, her eyes shining. "I feel the same, Liam. The bridge, the storms, the festivals, everything led to this moment." The wind whispered gently around them, carrying the sounds of the river and the town beyond. Liam took a deep breath, feeling courage and warmth swell in his chest. "Nora, I need to tell you something. I've realized something over these past days. It's not just the bridge I care about, it's you. I care about you more than I ever expected." Nora's heart skipped. She felt a warmth spread through her chest, a feeling she had hoped for but never said aloud. "Liam, I care about you too. I've felt it since the fire, since we worked together through the storm. I think I've loved watching you care, not just for the bridge, but for everything around you." A soft smile formed on Liam's face. "Then we both realized the same thing." He reached out and held her hands gently. "I want to face everything with you, Nora. Storms, challenges, laughter, quiet mornings, everything. I want us to be together." Nora's eyes glistened as she nodded. "Yes, Liam. I want that too." They leaned closer, and for the first time without hesitation, they kissed. It was gentle, sweet, and full of the emotions they had built together: trust, care, admiration, and love. The bridge beneath them, which had seen centuries of history, seemed to glow in the morning sun, as if blessing their moment. Pulling back slightly, Liam smiled. "This bridge has witnessed so many things, battles, festivals, storms, but today, it witnessed something new. Our beginning." Nora laughed softly. "Yes. And it feels perfect. Just like the river, flowing, constant, and full of life." They walked slowly along the bridge, hands intertwined, sharing stories and laughter. The town was starting to wake, and a few early risers waved from the river bank. But for Liam and Nora, the world felt private, calm, and full of hope. When they reached the far side of the bridge, they paused and looked back at the structure. The stones were bright, the arches strong, and the river glittered beneath them. It was more than a bridge now, it was a symbol of courage, care, teamwork, and love. "I think this bridge will always remind me of today," Nora said softly. "Of everything we've been through, and everything we will face together." Liam nodded, pulling her close. "And it will remind me that some things are worth protecting, not just stones and arches, but people, love, and moments like this." They stood there for a while, watching the river sparkle in the sunlight. The storm had passed, the bridge stood strong, and so had their hearts. The fire of the bridge, which once symbolized danger, now symbolized warmth, the fire of trust, courage, and a love that had grown quietly, steadily, and beautifully. Hand in hand, Liam and Nora stepped forward, ready to face the future together. The ancient stone bridge had witnessed centuries of history, and now it had witnessed the start of their story, a story of humans who cared deeply, loved bravely, and found joy in each other, just as they had found joy in the bridge that brought them together. The sun shone brighter, the river sparkled, and the day felt full of possibilities. Liam and Nora smiled at each other, knowing that no storm, no fire, and no challenge could ever break the bond they had created. Together, they were stronger, just like the bridge beneath their feet.